What's up, Batman fans? Today we're diving into one of the most iconic vehicles in pop culture history, the Batmobile. Since Batman's first appearance on screen, his choice of transportation has become almost as famous as the Caped Crusader himself. From sleek and stealthy to militaristic and menacing, the Batmobile has gone through numerous transformations over the decades. Each new iteration reflects not only the technological capabilities of its era, but also the specific vision of Batman that each director wanted to portray. So let's fire up the engines and rank every major live-action Batmobile from worst to best. We'll be looking at design, functionality, screen presence, and how well each vehicle embodies the Batman of its era. At number 10, Batman and Robin, 1997. Coming in dead last is the neon-lit monstrosity from Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin. This single-seater vehicle embodied everything that went wrong with that film. It was garish, over-designed, and completely impractical. With its exaggerated fins, transparent blue body panels, and bizarre light-up wheels, this Batmobile looks more like a Hot Wheels toy than a serious crime-fighting vehicle. The absurdly elongated design made it appear almost impossible to drive, and the glowing blue lights felt completely at odds with Batman's stealthy persona. The worst part might be the vehicle's over-the-top features, like the ability to transform into the Bathammer or the ridiculous rocket launcher that emerged from the center of the car. Like the film itself, this Batmobile leaned so heavily into camp that it lost all connection to what makes Batman compelling. In a movie filled with Bat credit cards and gratuitous ice puns, this day-glow disaster of a Batmobile perfectly represented everything that went wrong with Batman in the late 90s. Number 9, Batman Forever, 1995. Slightly better, but still firmly in the bottom tier, is the Batmobile from Batman Forever. While not quite as gaudy as its successor, this ribbed, fin-heavy vehicle with its distinctive center spine represented the beginning of Schumacher's hyper-stylized approach to the Batman franchise. This Batmobile at least attempted to maintain some connection to the Tim Burton designs with its elongated body and jet engine afterburner. However, the addition of dramatic illumination, including the bizarre glowing bat emblem on its side, pushed it firmly into cartoonish territory. The most ridiculous aspect was probably the grappling hook turning system, which allowed the Batmobile to drive up the side of buildings, a function that defied physics and common sense alike. Between this and the ability to transform into bat sonar mode, the vehicle crossed the line from fantastical to absurd. While it has its defenders among 90s nostalgists, this Batmobile represents a Batman who was leaving the darkness behind and heading straight for neon-lit camp. At number 8, we have Batman, 1966 to 1968 TV series. The original live-action Batmobile from the Adam West TV series lands at number 8 on our list. Based on the Lincoln Futura concept car, this convertible Batmobile is unquestionably iconic but ranks lower due to its dated design and limited capabilities by modern standards. That said, there's a charming simplicity to this vehicle that still resonates today. The glossy black paint job with red accents, the bubble canopies, and the distinctive bat face on the front created a cohesive look that perfectly matched the show's campy aesthetic. What holds this Batmobile back in the rankings is its limited functionality. The atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed routine was fun, but most of its gadgets were painted on or obvious props. Yet despite these limitations, it's hard not to smile at those bat-shaped phone receivers, emergency bat turn levers, and anti-theft devices. While it may not be the most impressive Batmobile by today's standards, the 1966 version remains one of the most recognizable vehicles in television history and deserves respect for establishing many Batmobile conventions that continue to this day. At number 7, The Batman, 2022. Matt Reeves' The Batman gave us perhaps the most grounded Batmobile in live-action history. Eschewing the high-tech military hardware and fantastical designs of previous iterations, this muscle car Batmobile feels like something a brilliant but troubled young vigilante might actually build in his garage. Based on a heavily modified American muscle car, this Batmobile has an exposed engine, reinforced body panels, and a raw, unfinished quality that perfectly matches Robert Pattinson's DIY approach to the Batman persona. There's something genuinely menacing about the way it first appears in the film, with only its headlights and engine visible through smoke. What lands this vehicle in the middle of our rankings is its deliberate lack of spectacle. While the stripped-down approach works thematically, this Batmobile lacks the wow factor and iconic silhouette of higher-ranked entries. The pursuit scene with Penguin is undeniably thrilling, but the car itself doesn't have the visual staying power of some other versions. That said, the way this Batmobile roars to life with its exposed jet afterburner and thunderous engine creates one of the most viscerally exciting Batmobile moments in recent memory. Number 6, Batman Returns, 1992. The Batmobile from Batman Returns is essentially the 1989 version with some minor modifications, which is why it lands slightly lower than its predecessor in our rankings. That said, it's still an impressive and iconic vehicle that perfectly complements Tim Burton's gothic vision of Gotham. The sleek, jet black design with its turbine intake and elongated chassis continued the Art Deco aesthetic from the first film. New features like the ability to shed its outer shell to navigate through narrower passages added functionality while maintaining the vehicle's distinct look. Some of the most memorable moments for this Batmobile include Batman remotely controlling it to confuse the Penguin's gang and, unfortunately, the Penguin ultimately hijacking and sabotaging it. There's something particularly sacrilegious about seeing the Batmobile controlled by a villain, which is perhaps why this iteration ranks slightly lower than its predecessor. Nevertheless, this version of the Batmobile remains a design classic that influenced countless toys, video games, and comic book interpretations for years to come. We're halfway at number 5, Batman v Superman Justice League, 2016 to 2017. Zack Snyder's tactical Batmobile represents a compelling hybrid of Burton's aesthetic sensibilities and Nolan's military practicality. This heavily armed, tank-like vehicle perfectly encapsulates Ben Affleck's older, more brutal Batman. With its low-profile, angular armor plating and visible weapon systems, this Batmobile emphasizes Batman's role as a one-man war machine. The front-mounted machine guns make it clear this is a Batman who's abandoned his no-killing rule, a controversial character choice reflected directly in his vehicle design. What makes this Batmobile impressive is how it balances form and function. Despite its heavily militarized appearance, it maintains a distinctly Batman silhouette with its pointed nose and raised rear section. The interior cockpit, with its sophisticated targeting systems and controls, feels like a logical evolution for a tech-savvy Bruce Wayne with decades of experience. The warehouse scene where Batman uses the Batmobile to create a distraction showcases both its speed and intimidation factor, while the Justice League sequences demonstrate its versatility in team combat situations. While divisive among fans like the Snyder films themselves, this Batmobile earns its place in the top 5 for its formidable design and battlefield functionality. Number 4, Batman Begins, 2005. Christopher Nolan's introduction of the Tumbler in Batman Begins represented a revolutionary reinvention of what a Batmobile could be. Abandoning sleek sports car aesthetics for a military prototype bridging vehicle, this version emphasized function over form while still creating an unforgettable visual. What makes the Tumbler so impressive is its backstory and functionality. Developed as a military bridging vehicle with boost jump capabilities, it has a logical origin within the Wayne Enterprises Applied Sciences division. Its ability to perform parkour-like movements across rooftops provided some of the most exciting Batmobile sequences in any film. The matte black exterior with its angular panels, exposed front wheels, and jet engine exhaust created a unique silhouette unlike any Batmobile that came before. Inside, the driver's compartment with its motorcycle-like control system added another layer of innovation. Nolan's commitment to practical effects meant that the Tumbler was a fully functional vehicle capable of actual high-speed driving and jumping, which gives the chase scenes a visceral reality missing from CGI-enhanced sequences. The iconic moment where Batman drives it across rooftops to escape the police remains one of the most thrilling Batmobile scenes ever filmed. While some purists initially rejected this military-focused design as not a true Batmobile, time has proven the Tumbler to be one of the most influential and memorable versions of Batman's ride. Down to number 3, The Dark Knight Rises, 2008 to 2012. The Tumbler's evolution in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises earns the third spot on our list, primarily because of one incredible innovation, the Batpod. When the Tumbler is critically damaged during the pursuit of the Joker, it transforms, allowing Batman to eject on the motorcycle-like Batpod hidden within. This brilliant design choice essentially gave Batman two vehicles in one, with the Batpod's sideways wheels, arm guards, and cannons, creating an entirely new, iconic vehicle. The transformation sequence is one of the most surprising and memorable moments in any Batman film. In The Dark Knight Rises, the addition of multiple tumblers, including the shocking moment when Bane's forces acquire camouflage versions, added another dimension to the vehicle's legacy. Seeing the Batmobile's technology used against Batman and Gotham created genuine stakes and consequences. What places this iteration slightly higher than its Batman Begins counterpart is how the vehicle's evolution mirrors Batman's journey. As his tactics and challenges become more complex, his equipment adapts accordingly. The Batpod in particular represents Batman's ability to adapt to failure and emerge with new resources. The only reason this doesn't rank higher is that the basic design remains the Tumbler we've already seen, albeit with a game-changing new feature. Coming in at second, the animated series, 1992 to 1995. While technically outside our live-action focus, the Batmobile from Batman, the animated series, deserves special recognition for its perfect distillation of everything a Batmobile should be. This long, sleek vehicle with its distinctive turbine intake and elongated fins has become the definitive Batmobile for an entire generation. What makes this design so special is how it blends elements from multiple eras. It has the length and fins reminiscent of the 1960s comic book Batmobiles, the jet engine from the 1989 film, and a unique Art Deco aesthetic that perfectly matched the show's visual style. The result is timeless, feeling both retro and futuristic simultaneously. The animated series Batmobile could do it all: high-speed pursuits, launching grappling hooks, deploying smoke screens, and even operating as a self-driving vehicle when needed. Yet despite these capabilities, it never felt overpowered or implausible within the show's universe. This version has influenced countless toys, games, and subsequent Batman media, including the Arkham video game series. Its silhouette is instantly recognizable, even to casual fans, and its design has aged remarkably well over the decades. While not technically a live-action Batmobile, its cultural impact and perfect execution of the Batmobile concept earn it the second-place spot on our list. And finally, our number one, Batman, 1989. Taking the top spot is Anton Furst's revolutionary design for Tim Burton's Batman 1989. This jet black vehicle with its turbine intake, batwing fins, and elongated chassis redefined what a Batmobile could be for modern audiences and has remained the gold standard for over 3 decades. What makes the 1989 Batmobile so special is how it balances form and function. The sleek Art Deco-inspired design feels both retro and futuristic, with a timeless quality that continues to influence Batman media today. The combination of the central turbine intake, cockpit-style interior, and shield-deployable armor created a vehicle that was both visually striking and believably functional. The gadgets were perfectly calibrated, from the grappling hook system to the bat-shaped shields to the jet afterburner. Each felt appropriately high-tech while maintaining a connection to Batman's aesthetic. The cocoon mode, where armored panels enclose the entire vehicle, showcased both its defensive capabilities and its striking visual design. Perhaps most importantly, this Batmobile had genuine screen presence. The moment it first appears in the film, with Danny Elfman's score swelling as it races out of the Batcave, remains one of the most thrilling introductions of any cinematic vehicle. The chase sequence where Batman rescues Vicky Vale from the Joker's henchmen perfectly demonstrates its combination of speed, maneuverability, and combat capabilities. The 1989 Batmobile represents the perfect marriage of dramatic design and practical functionality, creating a vehicle that feels entirely appropriate for both Bruce Wayne's resources and Batman's mission. It's no wonder that over 30 years later, this remains the definitive Batmobile for many fans, the standard against which all other versions are measured. From the neon excesses of the Schumacher era to the military precision of Nolan's Tumbler to the timeless perfection of Burton's 1989 classic, the Batmobile continues to evolve with each new interpretation of The Dark Knight. What makes the Batmobile so enduring is how it serves as both a reflection of its era and an extension of Batman himself. The vehicle Batman drives tells us something essential about his methods, his resources, and his psychology. While we've ranked these vehicles from worst to best, each Batmobile has its defenders and detractors. Your favorite might depend on which version of Batman you first connected with, or which design aesthetic speaks to you personally. What do you think? Did we get the ranking right? Which Batmobile would you put in the top spot? Did we miss any worthy mentions? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of Batman's iconic rides, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our future content. See you soon.